Welcome to Coming Out of the Spiritual Closet with your host, me, Brittany Wittig. Join me every week to explore and demystify the world of modern spirituality. Let's talk about signs. I absolutely love this topic. It's one of my very favorite parts of spirituality is receiving signs from the universe. And again, this is one of those things that early in my spiritual journey really appealed to me, but also felt kind of mysterious. Like, wait, how does that work? How do I know what's a sign and what isn't a sign? How do I ask for a sign? Let's talk about that today. And at the end of the episode, I'm actually going to ask the universe to give us, everyone who's listening to this at any point in time, I'm going to ask the universe to give us a sign to watch for so that we can kind of step out into our lives after this episode and receive some messages from the universe. To get started, what is a sign? What is a sign from the universe, I should say? So signs are basically the way that the universe communicates with us. It's the way that our higher self guides us or nudges us in the direction of our highest path. Signs can come in so many forms. A sign can be anything from a certain animal to a plant to a feeling. Some people know that they're receiving a sign when they hear tones in their ears or like high-pitched ringing in their ears. One of the signs for me that is a permanent sign that I know is the universe communicating with me is when I feel spontaneously overwhelmed with emotion. Like if I just spontaneously start crying and it's a joyful cry. When that happens, I know that whatever I am doing, hearing, seeing, whatever's going on in my life at that moment is divinely guided. I should follow that, whatever that is that's in my life at the moment when I have that experience of spontaneous, extreme joy. So signs can come in all kinds of different forms. And the good news is that the universe wants to communicate with you in a way that you will recognize. They will be tailored to you individually. And more good news, you can ask for signs. How do we ask the universe for a sign? So we'll start there. Because it's actually very simple, but it can feel complicated. You know, is there a ritual I'm supposed to do? Is there some kind of ceremony or spell? Sure. Those are all ways that you can ask for signs if you want to. It's all about what feels right for you. So again, this is about leaning into what's right for you, your own power, your own authenticity. In its most basic form, you can really just ask. The easiest way to do that is sit and take some deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth, and do that until you feel like you've calmed down, your mind isn't racing with thoughts. And then say to the universe, can you please send me a sign to watch for so that I know you're communicating with me? And then just let whatever pops into your mind be the sign. Just trust it. Whatever comes into your mind. Could be anything, right? It could be a certain type of crystal. It could be a leaf. It could be a feather. It could be something way out of left field, like an anvil, like in the cartoons. It could be anything, is my point. Don't judge it. Don't overthink it. Whatever pops into your mind, trust it. Write it down in your journal, and then go on with your life. And the key here is once you've asked for your sign, let go of it. Let go of attachment to it. Don't be watching everywhere for it and thinking about it. And when it shows up, you will not miss it. That's the thing about signs. You do not miss them. You can't miss them. They are presented to you in a way that you will know that you're receiving a sign. Once you've written that sign down and you know what it's going to be and you've let go of it, go about your life. How do you interpret that sign when it pops up? pay attention to whatever you are doing, talking about, thinking about, where you are. Pay attention to all of that when the sign appears. It's almost like, I think of it as playing hot and cold with the universe. Did you play that game when you were a kid? So someone would think of something that they wanted you to find in the room, and you would move in different directions, and the person would say, oh, you're getting hot, but then as you move towards the thing, but then when you moved away from the thing they wanted you to find, they would say, oh no, cold, you're getting cold. That's really how I think of signs. Like, we're playing hot and cold with the universe. The universe sends you a sign when you're getting hotter, when you're getting closer, when you're pointed in the right direction. So paying attention to what is going on around you at the moment that you receive the sign is really important. And not just going on around you, but going on within you. What are you thinking about? What are you focused on at that moment? A really great example of this happened to me just, I want to say last week or maybe the week before, but it was just very recently. I've been planning a lot of travel for the upcoming year. I'm going to be traveling full time again, actually, which is very exciting. I will still be making the podcast. I received in one of my meditations a sign that I should watch for. And the sign that they wanted me to watch for is a beetle, like a traditional beetle, a big black one, right? I was like, okay, even now, as much as I structure my life around spiritual guidance, sometimes they'll give me something that I can't imagine how it's going to show up in my life, but I just go with it. So the beetle was an example of that. I was like, how is that going to show up? But all right. I trust you, universe. And so just the very next day, I was on a walk in my neighborhood with my partner, and we were talking about these travel plans. Specifically, we were talking about walking the Camino de Santiago and then traveling around Greece. And I felt something in my hair. And I freaked out because I realized there was a bug in my hair. And I was like, is there a bug in my hair? Oh my gosh. And my partner pulled out of my hair a giant black beetle. Very traditional looking beetle. Like solid black with the big horns. I didn't even know we had those in Oregon. I live in Oregon. I mean, it was really like knock you over the head sign, right? It was just so funny. It was the universe letting me know that these plans that I'm making, these travel plans, are right on track. So that's an example. It's kind of an extreme example of how a sign can show up. But it can be that obvious and that extreme. So you really won't miss it when it happens. Okay, so when the universe sent me this idea for a podcast episode, the idea also came to me that we should come up with a sign for anyone that listens to this episode. The easiest way to do that is to pull an animal spirit oracle card, because animals just make such amazing signs. And who knows, there might be something like small on the card that ends up being the sign. I don't know yet because I haven't pulled the card yet. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and it will be a sign for anyone listening to this podcast at any moment in time, years in the future. Whatever this sign is, keep an eye out for it. It's going to be for you. So it's going to appear somehow for you in your life. Okay, let's see. Oh, wow, it popped right out. Okay, so 2 cards popped out, and I think they go really beautifully together. They even have a similar look to them. So I feel like either of these could be a sign, and especially if you see these 2 things together, then it's a serious sign. So the first card that came out is Starfish, open to infinite possibility, which is so perfect for what we're talking about, of course. And then the other card that came out is Spider Spirit, make your dreams real. I want to say also something about spider, because spiders get a bad rap. They're a really beneficial creature. And spiritually, they have in ancient times been thought of as the weavers of the web of reality. It's interesting how the spider and the snake are both examples of creatures that were demonized in the modern world when actually they're very, very, very sacred creatures. Snake is all about healing, and spider is about the creation of reality. I just wanted to put that out there because spider is a powerful spiritual creature, and I've done a lot of work myself to shift my relationship to spider now that I understand how powerful and beautiful they are. So, I digress. The signs to watch out for this week for anyone listening are starfish and spider, and especially if you see starfish and spider together somehow. If one of those speaks more to you, maybe that's your sign. Whatever feels right for you. Again, this is all about leaning into your own power. All right, so I would love to hear how those signs pop up in your life in upcoming weeks. You can connect with me through Instagram. In the show notes, I'll put the links to my Instagram. You can connect with me through either of my websites. I'll put them both in the notes. The website for this podcast is comingoutofthespiritualcloset.com. So you can always go there to connect with me in lots of different ways too. But please, when these signs show up, I would love to hear about it. Even if this is years in the future that you're listening, please connect with me. I would really love to hear about it. All right, thank you so much for listening. And if you are getting value out of this podcast and you would like to support it, please share, tell your friends about it, subscribe, follow, leave a rating, leave a review. I'm so grateful to everyone who has already left a review or a rating or shared it. It means so much to me. Thank you so, so much. And have a beautiful week.